Hi, I'm Kim Abernethy. I'm an artist here in Boone, North Carolina. I'm here at Horn in the West in the middle of the city. We're going to be doing some plein air painting today. Okay, so I've got everything I need right here. Let's go paint. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of look around here, find my spot. I found a really nice little path with some rhododendron going down there. You can see that mountain in the distance. I like that. So I'm going to set up right here. The setup that I'm using today is the Guerrilla 8x10 paint box. The reason I like to use that, when I'm out hiking, everything fits in that backpack. Everything I need. It's really, really easy to transport. This tripod is just a regular camera tripod. It's not anything heavy duty. We don't need that today. There's not any wind, barely any sun. So it's got two little levels on here that I'll level that up and lower it some. Okay, until I get those just where I want them and about the right height. Maybe a little bit lower. Okay, so that's very easy. I have several setups. Another one is a half box French easel, which is a little more complicated. This is the one I prefer. Okay. Okay, so this is the Guerrilla paint box, and this is the 8x10. Now this paint box, it has some limitations, but the fact that it's so portable makes me love it for hiking. It snaps into the top of this tripod, and then I'm going to tighten that down. And it's already level because I leveled my tripod before I put my paint box up here. Okay? Now the limitations on this paint box, if you want to look in here, you can see it's horizontal. These are I've prepared panels. You can put 2 canvas panels. I make my own panels, so I've got these 2 in here. They're 8x10s. So you're limited to 8x10 and you're limited to horizontal. But it's so portable, I love it. Okay, if you look in here, I've got all my paints, got my brushes, got my composition finder. The main thing about painting outdoors, painting plein air, would be to narrow down what you take with you. You want to be able to walk with it, travel with it, you want to keep it simple. So narrow down your palette. I use a limited palette. I use a warm and a cool of each of the primaries. I'll bring a tube of white with me. I'll bring a tube of burnt sienna, just as an earth color, with me as well. Okay, so you can see from this, very, very limited paint. You just don't need any more than that. All right, brushes too. Now I prefer flats, filberts, brights, any combination of those. I'll bring just like a couple 4s, a couple 6s, 1 8, and maybe 1 2. Very, very limited. I also like to bring a palette knife with me. Okay. Now, I've got my solvent over here. Take that out of this backpack too. Now what I do, I use the Gamsol. There's a raincoat, we might need that today. There's my water. I bring a roll of lint-free paper towels. Okay, those are Viva. I've got my sketch pad. I just kind of throw everything out. Okay, so this is my solvent. As I said, I use Gamsol. All right. Okay, so normally I have a little hook in there that hooks right on here and holds that for me. Looks like I didn't get that pack today. So we will just set that right there, okay? You want to be sure and not knock that over. You don't want that to go down into the ground. So here are the paper towels. Now I usually you can bring an old sheet, an old blanket. I like to have something to throw on the ground so I can throw my stuff on it, and I've got everything right by, where I need it. So I bring a sketch pad and the pencil with me. What we're going to do when we start, we're going to make a thumbnail sketch. I know this takes a little extra time, but it's so worth it. So worth it to do it. Helps you solidify in your mind what your scene is. I also like to bring a camera with me because I'll snap some pictures, and I'll have those when I go home to make any adjustments that I might need to make or want to make, okay? Grocery bag for trash, very important. I just kind of hang that on there. You don't want to litter. Okay, so we're set. Now, what we're doing, we're looking down this path, and I'm going to go ahead and do just a quick thumbnail. This is nothing that anybody needs to see. This is just for your information only. So we're just going to go really quick. Okay, I've got my path. Let's get our viewfinder out. Decide exactly what our composition is going to be on this. All right, so I'm looking through, I've got this little viewfinder. This is a very simple little viewfinder. I use just the basic viewfinder. And I'm going to look through here. I'm going to decide on my composition. I want that path coming. Okay, I think I've got that. Now what I'm going to do is just make just a little sketch. Like I say, very, very rough sketch, okay? Got some rhododendron over here. Don't grade me on this sketch. I've got some more rhododendron coming around this way. My darks are in here. Okay, that's another thing I'm looking for. Right now I'm looking at my values. Now today the light is very, very flat. We really don't have any sunlight, so it's a little bit of a challenging scene. We don't have any of those nice shadows going across that path. Another thing about plein air painting, and I think this is really important, don't feel like you have to go out and be a slave to what you're looking at. What you want to do, you want to look at a scene and you want to subtract, or you want it to be pleasing, but don't feel like you have to paint everything that you're looking at. It's not a photograph, okay? So when you're looking at this and doing your thumbnail sketch, like I'm not going to put in that biggest tree right there. I'm going to leave that out. So just don't feel like you have to be a slave to the scene.